Wonderful organization that raises funds for the playground. They have a bacchanalia every year and they raise enormous amounts of money. There's also a golf tournament that's held every year for the purpose of raising funds for recreation. And it helps. Our playground is beautiful. Our pool needs help. Our pool needs.
I didn't even know there was a pool in Fountain Hill, to be honest with you.
It's a nice big pool, but it is a nice big old pool. So we're hoping that maybe St. Luke's or some other philanthropic-minded organization will come up and we can rename the pool.
Mhm.
You know, we can call it the St. Luke's Pool or the St. Luke's place to have some fun.
Mhm.
But our pool's in trouble, but we have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful playground.
Okay. Now, as far as you were also in borough council, correct?
For 12 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what's the difference between being mayor and being on the council?
Well, actually, in Fountain Hill, it means I gave up a good degree of control.
Okay.
Because mayors only vote in the instance of a tie. I can veto ordinances and things like that, but it's sort of a weak veto because it only lasts for 2 weeks until council reconvenes and then they can revote and basically do what they'd like to do. It's actually in boroughs, it's called a weak mayor, strong council form of government. That's the technical term for it. So in becoming mayor, I've given up a little bit of control there, but I really want to lead the borough, you know, and I want to be its cheerleader. We have so much to offer in Fountain Hill that I'd like to help people learn about.
Not only that, but I learned from experience. It's called Hill for a reason. It's great for exercise.
Oh yeah, it's great. We'll get your cardio going. Take a walk.
Now, unfortunately, we'll get into this joke a little later because you already know it as far as the exact location of the Borough Hall on Google Maps. We'll get into that later, but when your inauguration, which unfortunately I missed that part, but I did stick around for the Borough Council meeting. And one thing that I took notice when I did the review is that the mayor sits with the Borough Council, not, like I said, I've been to Allentown, Bethlehem City Council, Easton City Council meetings where the mayor's, sitting in a different spot. And I actually gave, Fountain, the borough government, praise for that because this shows that the mayor is on the same level and no different than the rest of the council.
Well, yeah, and I think it helps to have thanks, Ray. It helps, I think, very much to act together. You know, that doesn't mean we don't have different opinions. We have some people on council have very loud and sometimes obnoxious opinions. But in all of that, we still work together. And I think it does say something about us.
Yeah, in fact, when I did the review, I said this almost sets the example for other locations, whether it's a major city or the smallest town, because it shows that all the levels of government are equal. Not, wow, I'm the mayor and or in the case of one of them, which I'm not going to mention, wow, we're city council, we want absolute power.
Right. Well, in Fountain Hill, being the mayor is a humble position. I mean, we are a borough of about 4,600 people, and
no offense, it's a lot more than I thought it would. It's than what it appears.
Right. I take the position very, very seriously, but I also do it with great humility, knowing that I'll need a lot of help to get things done from people. We're going to have our first meeting of this new Fountain Hill Business Alliance the last Wednesday in January, and I'm hoping that I get people to come. You know,
Mhm.
that's one of the difficult things when you come in and you want to try and start new things. It's getting people to sort of get on board with you.
Right. Now, I just have two more questions. I won't take up any more of your time. In all honesty, um, oh, what are the challenges that as mayor and as a former city council member and longtime resident, what are the challenges that you see the borough of Fountain Hill? Because I'm sure I grew up in the borough of Copley. Um, that I'm sure a lot of these small towns, and even to some one extent or another, even could be applied to larger cities. What are some of the challenges that you see facing the borough of Fountain Hill right now, other than probably snow removal?
Well, yes, there's always that. Well, I think it's keeping up the quality of life people have come to expect. Our police force is marvelous, but it costs a lot of money. It's the single biggest budget line item in our budget. Um, the other thing is getting people to get involved, to become invested. You know, we are a small borough. One of my big concerns is that people identify as a Fountain Hiller, not as somebody. You can use Bethlehem as your address. I strongly encourage people of Fountain Hill to use Fountain Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Get new return address labels. Change your address with utility companies. We are Fountain Hill. We are not Bethlehem, and it's important, I think, in order to make Fountain Hill the best place it can be, to identify as living in Fountain Hill. That's one of the biggest challenges. People can still say, oh yeah, I live in Bethlehem. Well, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a problem, it's a Fountain Hill cop that'll come. It's Fountain Hill firefighters that will answer a call if you're in real trouble. So that's an important distinction, and it's an important challenge that I see ahead of me.
Okay. Now we're doing this in a different way for me, as a joke, on a lighter and joking. And I think you know what's coming. Um, the reason why I missed your why you missed your swearing in, was, and this is actually serious too. According to Google Maps, where Fountain Hill Borough Hall is blocks away from where, and also there's no actual like sign like right towards. I mean, I realize this costs money, but is there any way for like the Borough Hall, to be more noticeable? Because even when I got, it was a block right behind the art establishment, which I felt like an idiot when I finally found it.
No, I mean, I think that's a valid point. It's something that I think we need to really look at. I have no idea how to get it corrected on Google Maps, but we have a website manager
Mm-hmm.
who I intend to speak to about it. As far as signage is concerned, I think it's a really good idea to have better signage. There are people in the borough, we on council, and
Mm-hmm.
myself, of course, we know where Borough Hall is. We've been
Right.
coming there forever, but not everybody does. So that's a valid point.
Especially for new residents.
Exactly. No, I think it's a good point.
Yeah, it's in case anybody's wondering, the art establishment is right on Broadway. It's literally directly behind a block, and here I am. Like, I think I burned 20 minutes and finally found it, and it's like, okay, I feel like just a complete idiot that.
No, I mean that is true. I think with people relying more and more on technology, I think we have to step up to the plate with that. I'm trying to make our website a little bit more user-friendly. I've started an official Facebook page.
Okay.
Need some help with that. There are things, we all have gifts, and I think part of being a mayor is finding out what your gifts are and finding out what other people's gifts are and trying to help us all come together so that we become a better, more a closer community. That's what I'd really like. You know, I'd like us to celebrate each other. We're very, very different than
Well-
we used to be.
Well, you actually, with the art establishment, you have an actual good beginning for the arts in the borough also.
Yeah, that is another project that I have. My first thrust is this business alliance. The second one is arts in the neighborhood. I would like to do something similar to, we can't do exactly what they do on the south side of Bethlehem with
They're doing
donkeys
something on the
and
south side
things.
of Bethlehem?
Well, yeah, I think it's, it's beautiful
No, I
what they're
understand what you're
doing.
saying. It's.
But I'd like
I just had
to,
to throw that in.
I'd like to have arts in the neighborhood.
Okay.
You know, and Ellen and Tom Flynn from the art establishment have agreed to help spearhead that.
Okay. And they're very good. They are very good people.
They're wonderful people, and the art establishment is a really, really terrific addition to Fountain Hill.
And I've taken, and on a final note, I've taken notice. Like, I've stopped by some of the convenience stores in Fountain Hill, and everyone I walked into, very friendly. You know, very friendly people. You know, hey, how's it going? How are you today? You know, just very welcoming also.
Yeah, I love to hear that because that's what I'd like for Fountain Hill. I'd like it to be a welcoming community, and I'd like people to feel the love there. I mean, really, it is a loving place. We have people that are so good to their neighbors. I'm so blessed to live where I live because I have wonderful neighbors, and I'd like to be a wonderful neighbor. And if we get that feeling going throughout the borough, it's going to be a better place to live for all of us.
Yeah, and also it will affect the surrounding areas also.
It's like a pebble. Just like when something really awful happens, it spreads out. It's like a cancer. The same thing can happen with good things, you know? You show love to your neighbor, and then that spreads out. And it's a beautiful thing. So I have great hope.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It is, as always, it is greatly appreciated. Again, congratulations on becoming mayor and working very hard and earning it. Seriously.
Well, thank you very much, Michael, and thanks for coming out.